What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Former Teen Mom 2-star Chelsea Houska and her husband Cole DeBoer are being sued for $3 million by a consulting company called Envy for allegedly withholding money from them when they would book them on certain social promotions, most notably Instagram, of course. So the Sun managed to get a hold of some documents that Chelsea's team recently filed requesting for a deposition that she was supposed to sit for in February to be postponed to August because, of course, she was 9 months pregnant around the time that this filing was done, and they knew she'd be having her baby any moment now. And the judge did wind up granting that motion for her, so we'll give it another 2 months before you hear any more breaking news from this court case. Now, going back to the company and their claims against Chelsea and Cole, they're saying they entered into a contract with Chelsea and Cole and their various, I want to say, shell corporations in 2015, and their end of their bargain was that they were supposed to provide the couple with licensing and endorsement deals in exchange for 35 to 40% of revenue, depending on whether or not the deals were domestic or foreign. If the deals were with domestic companies, US-based companies, they would receive 30% of the revenue, and if they were international, then they would get 40% of them. And they're also claiming that not only did they have a contract with Chelsea and Cole, but they also had one with their children as well, in addition to her father, Randy. And in the response that Chelsea and Cole filed, they claimed that the children never had an agreement with this company, but they left off the dad. So I guess Randy had some kind of an agreement with them. One thing I found really strange about this whole case is that Envy is claiming that Chelsea and Cole, and I quote, failed to pay any of the contractually required fees. So why did they wait like 5 or 6 years to sue them if they were never paying for them? You know, they entered into that contract in 2015. It's 2021 now. Chelsea and Cole have had so many like advertisements on Instagram, on social media. So I'm to believe that this company just kept bringing them these huge deals and never taking any kind of the money. Super duper weird, if you ask me. Another question I have is why Envy wasn't directly taking the payments when they were negotiating the deals with the brands. If this company was negotiating with the brands, it meant that they had the contacts. They were doing like the headhunting in order to bring them to Chelsea and Cole. So they were doing all the negotiations. They were dealing with the other people. So why were they not automatically getting paid and then giving Chelsea and Cole either what, the 60% or the 70% that they were owed, or whatever it might be? It's very, very odd. I used to run endorsements like this on the product side of tech companies. If you guys followed me for a while, you know I used to work in corporate tech in the marketing, communications, public relations department. And when we were trying to get our products known, we would reach out to like big stars or managers or whatever. Then the managers would negotiate with us. Then we'd send the money to the manager, and then the manager would be responsible for paying the talent. So it's very weird that Envy brought these contacts to Chelsea and Cole and then was automatically having them pay Chelsea and Cole instead of them taking the money. That's never the way that management works on any level that I've ever heard of. And we're talking big money here. I was working with like more startup tech companies, but like, you know, we were paying $10,000 to $30,000 for like a single post or a single video or whatever it might be. And, you know, with the following that Chelsea and Cole have, especially together, they could have commanded a lot more than that, even $50,000, $100,000 for one singular post. So it seems as though this company was very amateur hour in certain respects. It's very odd to me that they played the game this way with such huge amounts of money being on the table. So not only were Chelsea and Cole allegedly getting paid directly, Envy's claiming they were doing this behind their back, reaching out to the companies and telling them to pay behind their back. But again, why did Chelsea and Cole have their direct contact information? It's never supposed to be like that. Yes, you could put them in a conference call with a brand, which is what we used to do, but we never ever had any direct email or whatever paper trail with the actual talent. And that's the way you're supposed to do it, so you don't get backdoored in situations like this. To me, it really sounds like Envy played the hell out of themselves. But not only that, but they're also claiming that Chelsea and Cole regularly ghosted certain brands. You know, brands would send them products to post and they would just not post, hold up their end of the contract, even though they were being paid already. And so they listed some of them, and the list is at least 10 to 12 different brands that we're seeing here, you know, including some more, you know, well-known like Diff Eyewear underwear, FabFitFun. We're seeing Sugar Bear hair, Teamy blends. I don't remember her selling those like diuretic teas, but apparently that's something that she was supposed to do but ghosted on. And they say that because they would ghost on certain brands, they were supposed to pay certain fees for violating the contract, but they never did that either. And they're like, listen, we made them millions of dollars and never saw a single cent of it. How do you, like, over 5-6 years? It doesn't add up to me. Now, Chelsea and Cole, of course, did respond to this lawsuit. It's way too big to ignore, you guys. And they're claiming that Envy actually withheld $150,000 from them, which to me is kind of like, okay, well, they're suing you for $3 million. And you're complaining about $150,000. Do you want a $150,000 discount off of $3 million or something? Because it's not really equivalent at this point. And so they're also saying, listen, we do not owe any payments to Envy. They've been the ones who are withholding payments to us wrongfully. And they say, and I quote as well, Envy actually harmed the professional careers of defendants Chelsea and Cole by withholding considerable payments from them and acting in an unprofessional manner, including but not limited to arguing with and acting disrespectfully towards Chelsea and Cole, potential and then existing licensing contracts, and other professional contacts of Chelsea and Cole. I'm really curious to know what Chelsea and Cole consider acting in an unprofessional and disrespectful manner, because to me, I don't know, I don't really see a brand or a company doing anything like that, especially a company that is able to generate this sort of income for people. So they're saying that Envy also, and I quote, intentionally omitted numerous deals and or revenues from the account statements for the sole purpose of depriving Chelsea Cole and their companies from receiving funds rightfully due and owing to them, which is weird because it's a direct contradiction from what Envy is claiming, which is that they never saw money. Chelsea and Cole were always being paid up front behind their backs. They were the ones demanding it. So how would they owe 150 something thousand to Chelsea and Cole if they never saw a single penny and Chelsea and Cole were always being paid? Both sides are very weird here, but the good thing about this is what they're claiming can be proved with a paper trail. So at the end of the day, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a pretty easy case for a judge to take a look at, because money like that is always followed by a paper trail. No one is paying them this kind of money in cash, you know? So we're going to get to see as it plays out. Chelsea, again, is expected to be in court in April for some kind of a deposition. I'm saying some kind because I think it's probably just going to be a virtual one with the current state of the world and her having a newborn and several young children at home as well. Guys, I'm really curious to know what you think about this. Are you shocked to see that Chelsea and Cole were sued for $3 million? I was, where was I? I was spending the weekend in Champagne. It's only about an hour and a half away from Paris. We just did a little bit of a road trip for Valentine's weekend, and I was just browsing through my socials and I saw that and my jaw literally hit the floor. I really want to know you guys' take on it, because this to me is wild. In fact, I've got another story about Cole this time being sued for money that he is refusing to pay to other people. So I'm really curious about whether or not you think this might be a certain pattern of some sort. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.